Hi and welcome to Tabletop Mini Showcase. I'm Jim, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Cool Mini or Not Iron Maiden collection. Let's get to it. In October 2022, Cool Mini or Not released 3 Iron Maiden themed character packs. These packs contain minis based around the Iron Maiden mascot known as Eddie. For those of you that are unfamiliar with Iron Maiden, they are a heavy metal band formed in Leighton, East London in 1975 that have been recording albums and touring for many years now, and they have a huge following, not just here in the UK but worldwide. The band's albums feature artwork from the artist Derek Riggs, who created the band's mascot, Eddie. The minis in these packs are based on that artwork from the albums and represent the many different incarnations of Eddie, the band's mascot. At the time that I purchased these models, they were no longer available from Cool Mini or Not directly. However, I did find sellers selling them on eBay at a pretty reasonable price. I paid around £30 per box for the 3 boxes, total of 90, and I picked up the exclusive Eddie for about £20-25. So all in all, probably 115, something like that.
This is a journey into money. Loads of money.
It may seem like a lot to pay for 15 minis, but since they're representations of the various incarnations of Eddie, each model is basically like a character model. You have total variation, and 2 of the models are pretty substantial in size. As well as containing 15 fantastically sculpted minis, one of which was a pre-order exclusive if you did buy all 3 sets at once. The box sets also include all of the components that you will need to actually use these minis in the games when you wish to play them. These packs can be used in conjunction with games such as Zombicide 2nd Edition, Zombicide Black Plague, Zombicide Undead or Alive, Zombicide Invader, Rising Sun, Massive Darkness, Cthulhu, Death May Die, and Ankh Gods of Egypt. My apologies if I pronounced any of those names wrong. In terms of sculpt, the minis are absolutely spot on. They look exactly like the original artwork from the albums. The models are cast in hard plastic, and unlike many miniatures that you buy, they arrive in small vacuum formed plastic containers, which means you don't have to remove them from sprues. They're also entirely assembled. There's absolutely no need for any glue to put these miniatures together, and honestly the mold lines are really insignificant. In fact, when I painted these models, I didn't really do much cleanup at all, and it's barely noticeable. So if you're interested in getting your minis from the box onto the table as quick as possible, these minis are a fantastic little item to pick up because there's absolutely no faffing about. It's literally out of the box, paint, start playing. In terms of quality, I would say that they're just short of Games Workshop's quality in that some of the details aren't quite as sharp as what you will find on a Games Workshop model. With that said, they are still incredibly high quality and highly detailed models, and I don't think anyone would be disappointed with the quality of these miniatures. If you are a person that likes to paint their models in sub-assemblies, it may be a little bit irritating having them entirely assembled, as there are 1 or 2 little areas that are kind of tricky to get to with the brush, with them being entirely assembled, but there's nothing so major that with a little bit of work you can't work around that. In terms of the difficulty level for painting these models, it's kind of difficult to categorize, as they're very heavily detailed and they have a very stylized color pattern and scheme. So if you're a beginner, you may find them a little bit tricky with all of the details, but if you're a more experienced painter who's used to painting small details, you may actually find them a little bit easier than many minis, because all of those details actually mean that you don't have to put as much effort into creating volumes and interesting paintwork. You can literally just rely on the sculpt and paint them with a pretty basic paint job, and they will look really great simply because the models themselves are actually really well balanced, as they were designed by an artist to look good in 2 dimensions, and that translates through to how you see them in 3 dimensions. I will say that I don't think that they're ideal for beginner painters, as there are some really intricate small details and they do require a little bit of knowledge of certain painting techniques in order for you to get things like object source lighting, etc., to look effective. But if you do have a little bit of knowledge about painting and you're confident enough that you can get those effects, then they're absolutely a great little set to pick up. I personally bought these models as a present for my brother-in-law for Christmas, and I wanted to have all 15 painted in a little display case for him to have as a present on Christmas Day. I only left myself about a month to do this, which does sound like a long time for 15 minutes, but considering the amount of detail on them and the fact that I have to go to work and do other things as well, it really wasn't a massive amount of time. So I saw this as a good opportunity to practice some speed painting techniques, and I found that I could get them to a pretty nice standard even without having an awful lot of time invested. Obviously I'd love to be able to spend 15 to 30 hours on each mini, but it just wasn't feasible, and just painting them quickly and getting them neat and sticking to the colour schemes that are designated by the album art, I actually found that you can get them looking a really nice standard without too much effort. As painting experiences go, I actually found it really therapeutic. These models painted up really quickly and looked really nice without a lot of work, and that's quite a rare thing. A little bit of wet blending here, a few inks, and you're laughing really. Then they're not that difficult. You could probably slap chop these minis quite easily, and a lot of what I did was sort of dry brushing things and then using inks over the top, and then a little bit of working base coats and other standard painting techniques over the top of that in order to get to the final result that I got. And of course, since I was painting these as a present for my brother-in-law, who is a huge Iron Maiden fan, the most important thing was to make him happy, and when I saw his reaction I knew that I'd achieved that goal, and that is what made it worthwhile for me.
I got you the Zombicide, cool mini or not, Iron Maiden minis. Painted them. And you got,
James!
that's all the cards for the game and everything. Okay. So if you ever do play the game, yeah.
Oh, James!
So
He's been doing that for weeks.
the full set. That's all the Zombicide
he's gonna
Iron
cry.
Maiden minis you can get.
Thank you. That's incredible.
I would definitely say that painting models as a gift for others is a really fun thing to do, and it's a great way to share the hobby and to encourage more people to play games with you. In this instance, my brother-in-law really doesn't play a lot of board games, but I figured he would probably be a little bit more incentivized to do so if he had a bunch of Iron Maiden models. So it was kind of a little bit of a selfish gift in that way.
The selfish bastard!
If you're a wargamer that is into Iron Maiden, you will absolutely love these models. They are a really faithful interpretation of the original artwork, and as we know, a lot of people don't like to see original artwork or original ideas messed with. Take for example the Transformers movies or the Ninja Turtles movie. Whenever companies try to veer too far from the original source material, it never goes down well, and these models really stay on point. They are exactly how you would want them to look, and they perfectly represent the band's artwork, in my opinion. They may not be the cheapest models in the world to buy at this point, but if you are a fan, I definitely think they're worth picking up. And if you're looking for a project that you can get painted up relatively fast but still have a really nice looking result, these are also perfect for that. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please consider hitting the like, share and subscribe buttons, as it helps the channel to grow and it allows me to get my content out to you a lot easier. Have a great day, and until next time, in a bizzle. Action!